I don't know if I should be Team Iron Man or Team Captain America. Oh my god. Don't sneak up on me like that. But because I have you here, let's talk about the sponsor of this here lovely Intoxicated podcast episode. That's right. I'm talking about CarterComics.com. Whether they be graded or raw, Carter Comics has it all. All you have to do is go to their website or their eBay page and put in the discount code that you can use over and over and over. Lovely, IMLOVELYIM, to save 10% off your order. That is CarterComics.com, your one-stop shop for all comics needs. Previously on the lovely Intoxicated Men.
PX, it behooves me to tell you right here, right now. Me, the leader of the LIM, hereby suspend you until further notice.
Not this time, kid.
And I've been sitting here, looking at this broken belt. And I don't even know, there have been points where it's like, what the hell am I even doing this for? Where I feel like I need to just walk away from all of this. Little McGee stood up for me.
I think I was right when he was Top Fan and told him to give you a knuckle sandwich.
And what does Tony do?
Well, Lil McGee, since you're in the kitchen and that's a good place for you, why don't you start working on my knuckle sandwich?
And that's what changed my mind. If you say that you're nothing without that title, maybe you don't deserve it. Maybe I need to get back the title that the Ackerman brothers built. Tony, if you're not afraid, you reinstate me. Let me challenge you for the LIM Beer Drinking Championship and let one goddamn good thing happen to me this year. Because it is high time to break the curse of the LIM. And Tony, you are the curse of the LIM. And I am going to break you the moment you reinstate me.
What do you think of this, Danny boy?
Ooh. How's that sandwich coming along?
Oh, it's coming along real good,
Yeah.
Tony Gabagool.
Keep working on my sandwich.
Yeah, I will. It'll be coming up real quick, Gabagool.
This thing with PX. Now, being the voice of reason, I feel like I should come to you personally and be like, does he really need to be suspended? I mean, can you consider talking to the rest of LIM? Come on, it's PX. He's been with you for so long.
You are the voice of reason. Let's put it to a vote. What we will vote on momentarily is whether or not PX will be reinstated as a full-fledged member of the LIM. Colonel? John? Sip? Take that as a yay. Lil McGee?
Yeah.
Thomas Foolery. This is a no for me to go. This is a no for you. Sean Danger. Sean Danger. I don't believe he is a... You believe? I believe not. And as the leader, I overrule that. It's a stalemate. Between the yeas and nays, PX will remain suspended.
Hey guys, it's Little McGee here. I have a fun, fresh, fantastic recipe for you guys today. It's for a knuckle sandwich, more specifically for Tony Gabagool. So what you're going to start off with is the first ingredient, which is some high quality beef, which is what I have with Gabagool. Tony, I think you know what beef we have. We did a team vote to reinstate PX. And guess what? You rigged it. You rigged it in your favor and you know it. Which actually made my hand turn into a fist. And to be honest, my fist is going to go in your face if you don't reinstate him. But in the meantime, I'm not going to be on the podcast. I'm actually boycotting it until PX is reinstated. Oh, and to think about it, you can give the kitchen specials to the fans. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Following podcast has been recorded by LIM.
From taverns across Chicagoland to St. Joe's Park in Joliet to the world of podcasting, they're upholding the good name of Chet Gunderson and letting the old styles flow. They are the lovely, intoxicated men. And this is the Lovely Intoxicated Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lovely Intoxicated Podcast. I am the best LIM champion ever, Tony Gabagool. And real quickly, because I'm tasked with doing this, Lil McGee, she's boycotting the show, so I need to talk about the snacks, the treats, the drinks that they're going to have at Kicks on 66. So, without a further ado, the Grin, you can find this at the bar. This drink, ladies and gentlemen, sold out within 1 hour. That quick. So make sure you get to the bar. And while you're there, grab an old style for the LIM. Now the other fancy drink we're going to have at Kicks on 66 is none other than the reigning, defending, inter-county champion, Mr. Jesus de Safios. What does that say, guys?
Margarita.
Oh, we lost Gabagool.
Oh, no.
Well, fans, what that said was the Prison City Margarita, I believe is what it said. So you can find those at the best bar in all of Joliet and potentially the whole Rocket Pro universe, the galaxy, really.
Even beyond that, too.
Yeah, even beyond that. So not entirely sure.
And beyond.
Exactly, Danny. Not entirely sure what happened to Gabagool, but you know, the world does not revolve around him, Danny. You know, he is our LIM champion, and while he's also looking for this consigliere, I mean, as you've seen, he's done all these interviews and tried to hire people, but has he interviewed you?
Not quite yet. No, he has not.
Yeah. Funny. Maybe it's because you've been busy being, you know, the best ref that RPW has. But what's funny is he hasn't interviewed me. I hold the pot of gold. He could use this as an insurance policy to, you know, for whatever happens with this whole PX situation. Yeah. He keeps forgetting that I have this. This is the insurance policy that the LIM title stays on the rightful shoulder and the true leader of the LIM, and he just forgets that. So
as it should.
Hopefully Gabagool gets it together and realizes what an asset I can be. But I think this stays between you and I.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, I think he's coming back in. I'm about to bring him back. Gabagool, what do you hear? What do you say?
There he is. Gabagool's back. Yay.
All right, Gabagool's back.
Hey,
we were talking
how
about
you
the Prison
doing?
City margaritas. Did you go and find one and the Popo showed up at your place?
I don't know what happened. Somebody better call Verizon Wireless and tell them to go get a prison margarita because you assholes are screwing up my Wi-Fi. All right, I do apologize for any inconvenience that might have caused. We got the Prison City margarita, Jesus de Safio, and we're going to talk about him a little bit later on. Isn't that right?
That
now,
is.
On top of that, we do have a tasty treat that is also with the theme of the reigning, defending, intercounty champion, Mr. Jesus de Safio, and I am looking forward to this. I'm not the biggest undeniable guy. I'm not the biggest Aztec ammunition guy, but I do love some good mini tacos. I do love good food. Look at my belly. And
Who doesn't love good food? Honestly, you can't deny it.
well, it's undeniable how good the food is at Rocket Pro Wrestling. Again, I'm looking forward to it. And Lil McGee, you see how easy that was just to cooperate? All right, let's move on. We got Rocket Pro Wrestling kicks on 66. Gentlemen, it goes down in just a few short days. Let me pull up this beautiful logo they have. How cool is that?
Wow.
As always, it's fantastic.
So this will be May 3rd. And I do need to give a quick plug. Fan Axxess will be before the show, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure you are there. This is not only an opportunity to meet and greet with the superstars of RPW, but it's also going to be a chance to listen to myself, the best LIM champion ever, talk with Travis T of Just Freaking Wrestling podcast about all the superstars in RPW and all the matches that are to come. But tonight, you're going to get a sneak peek. We're going to run you through each of the matches. But before I do so, I do want to talk about something real quick. PX went ahead. He went rogue. He went on the LIM YouTube page. He recorded an episode without us despite being suspended. Now, under traditional circumstances, I would have been really hot right now. And just when I thought you couldn't piss me off anymore, PX, you almost go and redeem yourself. It's true. You put on a great episode about IPW and my childhood hero, Rion Skills, and the match he will have against Damian Gray. And you also, this meant a lot to me, and I'm sure it will to you guys too. You made the episode in remembrance of a great man. Let me turn this so you guys can see. Ref Dev Anderson. We lost him last week, and we forever will miss him. Gentlemen, if you want to say anything about Ref Dev, the IPW episode was in honor of him. And again, this episode tonight will also be in honor of him.
I know Ref Dev was always the best when we would, first started going to RPW and doing the ref chants. He always got a kick out of that, and it always like showed like a little bit of appreciation to him and the other refs. Um, he was a true professional, and I will, truly miss him. I know Danny, you were fairly closer with Ref Dev, so I'm sure you have more to say. So I'm going to give you the floor here.
Oh man. It broke my heart. I'm not gonna lie, it broke my heart. He was when I started my ref career. I talked to Dev a lot. I asked him. He was practically a mentor for me at the time. I may have not known him for that very long, but just meeting this guy, working with him, let's just say he can rest up easy, and I'm gonna take all his ref bumps for him. I respect him a lot. I did. Much love to him, and to pay my respects out to the family as well. My condolences as well. But yeah, he's a good person. He was a good person. He was. I'm not really good with sensitive subjects sometimes because I'm not a fan of like everyone else losing people. So, but yeah, I love the man. He was great, and I'm glad I got to meet him, and I'm glad he helped me through my ref career. And I got
Very, very well said to you both. I would echo the same thing you said. Respect to his family, and we will miss you, Ref Dev, but we will eternally be wrestling fans chanting in the ring, and you will never be forgotten. So with that, let's talk about this great thing we love, wrestling, and especially Rocket Pro Wrestling. As I said, Kicks on 66 is May 3rd. It's coming up very shortly, and the start of the show will again be an IPW showcase. And to help us talk about that, Ref Danny is going to walk us through that. On one side of the ring, we will have Hugh Meck, who is the Aztec monster. And on the other side of the ring, we have none other than Mr. Kilmore. And if you can give a little bit of a shout out or a little bit of context who these fine gentlemen are
Oh, yeah.
and what the fans can expect.
No. I'm more familiar with Humick than I am with Kilmore. But I could tell you this, Kilmore, he's the friendliest guy you'll ever meet, that's for sure. Nothing wrong with him. He's just your friendliest neighborhood wrestler, I would consider him. He has good skill work in the ring. He's got good footwork. But when it comes to Humick, now I have to say he can be quite dangerous in that ring. He knows what he wants. He's gonna do what he has to do to take care of business. He is a monster. He is. Oh yeah. I wouldn't disagree to that. He is definitely a monster in that ring. He's also got good footwork as well. I mean, I'm not sure what the outcome is. If maybe Kilmore could calm him down somehow with his friendliness, kindness. Who knows? We shall see. Maybe Kilmore could be on top, but my vote's on Humick just because I've seen him destroy in the ring as a professional wrestler. Just
I could see that. Double J, who are you picking for this match?
I'm pulling for Humick. I mean, he just upset he over in Wrestle League. He took down the Caribbean Cartel and took the Wrestle League World Heavyweight Championship from a very dominant faction there. So he's got the momentum on his side.
that match.
Not
R.I.P. Ref
not
Danny.
Yeah.
not an easy feat, obviously, to overcome the Caribbean Cartel, who is also running amok here in RPW. Folks, I gotta go for my pick, Mr. Kilmore, and for a very detailed reason. He's a tag team champion over in War Wrestling out in Ohio with one of our longtime favorites. And that is none other than John Paul Les Miserables. We saw him in the IPW showcase earlier in the year, was it? A few
I
months
believe it
back?
was Darkness Falls or Harvest Havoc.
Time flies by. He is the mime, and I can see that him and Mr. Kilmore make a fantastic team. So he is my pick. But really, we're looking forward to it. People, make sure you get to Kicks on 66 early so you can see this awesome match. This is the IPW showcase. Now, in match one, folks, we are going to see a rematch from 2 years ago. Believe it or not, these two men, the sun and the air, Maximus Orion, faced off against Real Deal, Rion Skills. That's right, one's in the air for our tribal liaison. And this match went down. It was a last man standing in 2023 at Kicks on 66. We saw Rion Skills win that match. Now, it'll be interesting in this match 2 years later. That was an iconic feud they had. Where has things gone in the last year? So, these two had a second match, which ended in a DQ. So, really, to me, I don't know if you guys would agree, Rion has the upper hand here. The
100%.
score is 1-0, and there's a DQ in there if we're going to count that.
101. That one,
101. I filled out a geometry, so don't ask me about statistics. But I will say this. Rion Skills was there to protect Shelley back at Resolution. Even as the referee, he prevented Shelley from getting hit with the chair by Maximus Orion. So will Rion go 2-0 against Maximus Orion at Kicks on 66? Or will Maximus Orion continue to hold on to his Rocket to the Top briefcase, which he refers to as his insurance policy, if you guys will recall that? So again, this is a last man standing match between Maximus Orion, Rion Skills, and I did fail to mention at the beginning, it is for the Rocket to the Top briefcase. Gentlemen, what's your pick?
Go for it, Danny. I'll let you take the lead on this one.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Double J.
Mhm.
All right, so, at first I wanted to say Maximus Orion, not because, the drama, but it's just in general, the undeniables. Undeniables, I got to give them credit. They're always there for each other when it needs to happen. I have to say their teamwork is phenomenal, but it's just dirty. It's just very dirty. But I want to say Rion Skills because as of what's happening, it seems like the undeniables is kind of taking a tip. If you get where my drift is going, like they're kind of seesawing. They're not sure if they're these matches that have been happening, not favoring them at all. And I honestly, yeah, Rion, and who knows, someone could help Rion's skills as well. You know, I wouldn't blame them. As many times as the Undeniable have interfered in matches, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Rion could do it by himself regardless, because he's one tough SOB. He's Rion, the chief of wrestling.
Yeah, it's a very, very valid points there, Danny. I think I was torn on this one. I'm gonna have to pull for Maximus though. I think Maximus is walking out with this one, just given all the familiarity he has with Rion, everything that is built up to it. He's got an extra. He already has a pretty big chip on his shoulder, just being the punk ass that he is. But going into this match specifically against Rion, he's got a lot more to prove. And I think heading into it, knowing that the Undeniable lost the Outer Limits Championship last month, are potentially going to lose the heavyweight championship in the match on this show, which we'll get to, potentially also losing the tag team title match that is also we'll get to here shortly. The Undeniable are going to do everything they physically can to retain as much of the leverage that they can. So I'm expecting Rion to have a very large uphill battle walking into this for all of those reasons. As to who's going to be involved with on the side of Rion, everyone I can think of also have very big matches later on this evening that I don't know necessarily will. I'm thinking maybe Shelly, maybe Nuke will get involved, but who's to say? I don't also just can they overcome just the force that is the Undeniable? So unfortunately, with this one, I'm thinking Maximus comes out on top. He's got he has just a lot to prove here.
I did not give you guys my pick. I was in here talking. I don't think I said Rion, baby. Rion is going to win this. Double J. He's 1-0 in a last man standing match. He finished 2 years ago, finished Maximus Orion with a sit out fireman's carry through the door, table, whatever that was. It was some kind of long piece of wooden material. Put his ass through it. He's going to get that Rocket to the Top briefcase. He's going to get the revenge on Steve Michaels, and I guarantee Rion Skills will be the next RPW champion. What do you say to that? I don't care. We're moving along to the next match. Danny boy, talk to me. Baby LaGreca's talking because he's also talking about this next match. In the next match, we're going to see Dat Boy Rozzy versus a suburban German, Joseph Von Jaeger.
Da. So, you want me to take this one, guys?
Please do.
Yeah. Rozzy, that boy Rozzy. He's always on to something. I've seen it many, many times. But I give him credit. He's, like I said before in the past, he's getting real good in that ring. His footwork is getting phenomenal. Jaeger, he's very familiar with Rozzy. They've had feuds in the past. They know each other. Jaeger can beat him. I'm pretty sure. That's all I'm gonna say. I've seen Jaeger and how he competes. He's determined, very determined to get what he wants. But he's not gonna cry about it. No. He's gonna show up. He's more of walk to walk than he is to talk. So Jaeger over here. I'm gonna pick Jaeger on this one. 100%. Yes.
I think the big thing with these guys is the feud with them, and I'm not much of a Wrestle League historian, but as far as RPW is concerned, we know that this feud stemmed from Joseph Von Jaeger's feud with Jesus DeSafio. And we first saw that boy Rozzy, I believe it was at Resolution.
Yeah.
He was posed as security, jumped the guardrail, interfered, cost JVJ the match. He actually drop kicked JVJ with a chair, which was pretty impressive. However, JVJ could no longer challenge for that Intercounty Championship. We know how much he loves that championship.
He did get him back though. He was also security and got
He did
right back too. Which was,
thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they both were on opposite sides during that 8-man tag match at spring break. So they've stepped into the ring with each other a few times here in RPW. So it'll be very curious to see how this unfolds in a one-on-one scenario. And JVJ may have familiarity with Rozzy from the Wrestle League and other promotions, but the RPW fans have not really seen what Rozzy can do in a one-on-one situation, and maybe that'll help him carry some momentum into this match. But
Yeah.
regardless, nothing's gonna stop a swift Jaeger
And,
bomb from putting out Rozzy because he
uh,
looks like a man who can't handle his alcohol, and one strong Jaeger bomb is putting that little man with a small beard into timeout.
He's
and
got a
another
whittle beard.
go be another thing is with Rozzy though, he's part of that Caribbean cartel. He's got that backup. Jaeger doesn't have that backup, but we do have.
He does, though. He does.
We
Pizza
do.
and
We've
beer.
seen it. We got Lat Kid for him. Lat Kid's there. We've seen that.
Kid Lat, pizza and beer. He
Yep.
does have some friends.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, Joseph Von Jaeger will be in the LIM. We're waiting to get some room for you. You're on the wait list. We'll get
Hell
you in
yeah.
when there's a chance. But my pick is always going to be JVJ for this. Double J, do you echo that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if if I've seen it happen. The interference, Jaeger can move above all. What he
Well,
has to do.
gentlemen, I think that's our first unanimous pick for the night. So everybody give yourself a round of applause. Grab a cold old style. This is a friend full of shows. These are sorry, and I do apologize for Baby LeGrec coughing in the background. Just to give a quick shout out, he's got the Amish flu. Now let me tell you about the Amish flu, okay? Before I get to the next match, the Amish flu. First, you get a little hoarse, then you get a little buggy. All right, let's talk about the next match. Double J, would you care to talk about this next match? It's a fatal four-way match for the Outer Limits Championship.
Yes, we do. We have our newly crowned Outer Limits champion, Sam Knight, who defeated the Ryan Matthews last month at Spring Break for this title. So Ryan Matthews is getting another shot at this championship alongside with fellow Undeniable member, the man who does not know how to properly tie a tie and make suspenders look terrible, Eric Schultz. Those are not the results you're looking for, my friends. But most importantly, in this match, we are seeing the return of your baby mama's favorite wrestler, Cash Money Corey McHenry. Now, Ryan Matthews is looking to retain that title. Eric Schultz is looking to get this title back within the Undeniable. Sam Knight looking to stay on the righteous path and deliver some swift justice and retain this championship. All I want to see is Corey McHenry boot somebody in the face. And I will pay good money to see that beautiful braided man do whatever he can to become Outer Limits champion. That is my pick.
Specifically to the naked mole. I mean, to Matthew.
That's a hairless cat, not a naked mole rat.
What's the difference?
Take a zoo class.
Danny, who's your pick here?
Corey. Cash Money. Cash Money 100%. That's my pick.
Gabagool.
Guys, I hate to be the bringer of bad news.
It's okay.
And I hate to go against our good friend Corey. But I got to go with Eric Schultz because he started the season as the first ever Zero Gravity champion. And I have a feeling he's going to end this season with his first title reign as the Outer Limits champion.
Man.
It's logical.
I know that might be a hot take, but to me it makes sense. He started the season as a champion. He very well could end the season as a champion. And wouldn't it be something if he turned on his undeniable brethren in Ryan Matthews?
Kind of get that feeling. Because haven't we seen this before when it comes to teammates in a triple threat or a fatal four-way?
Sure.
It's never ever a happy ending between the two.
Alliances are truly blurred during this. And just want to, before we move on, I want to give just a quick shout out to Sam Knight. This is nothing against you. You're a respectable man. You're an honorable man. But Corey's my man, and I have to put him over.
And Sam Knight, congrats to you. We know that it was a 6-year journey that you had to obtain that Outer Limits championship. But brother, there is 141 and 2/3% chance that somebody might beat you in this match because that's just Steiner math. And I'm just spitting facts about mathematics.
If it ain't gonna be Corey winning it, hopefully it's Sam retaining it. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? Because these guys are great. Just McHenry deserves that. He deserves this. He deserves this shot. and I believe that he can take it a long way with it. You know, he's got that charisma, that momentum. He's got it. It's flowing with him. I mean, dude, look at his beautiful long hair. Look at the gold. Look at the gold that he shines with. He's already got it.
All right, Danny. I'm gonna need you to settle down here. This is a family show.
Yeah, you're getting all up on him. Let's talk about another match. My voice just cracked because it's Baby Rebecca.
I'm just saying, man. He's good.
All right. God, you're having a wet dream over here.
Speaking
Calm
of wet
down.
dreams, we have this next match for you. Santino, relax.
That's the best segue ever.
Santino, I understand. This is a family show, Santino. Watch yourself in the comments section.
Somebody
yes, I know.
better grab a towel for this one, Santino.
Grab a mop. It's gonna get wet because No Coast is back in town, and Santino will be there, front row, screaming his little heart out, taking on Pizza and Beer, who will be taking on the undeniable people who look like they are addicted to meth for the RPW Tag Team Championship. We see No Coast making yet another triumphant return this season, where we last saw them, at Darkness Falls, taking on, coming to the aid of Brooks Burnham. And they're looking to regain their RPW Tag Team Championships, which they haven't had in the past couple of years. So they have a shot that they're going to not squander. But then we also have Pizza and Beer, the true RPW Tag Team Champions, because they won the championships at Shamrock Showdown. And then Damian Saint came in and restarted the match and took advantage of the situation to get the titles back. And then you have Arsenal and Wade. They won it at Christmas Chaos. Barely seen them since, kind of just doing whatever. But they are taking on two RPW huge fan favorites, especially Pizza and Beer being one of the most electrifying tag teams in RPW right now. How can you not, again, Santino, I know. Put it away. This is a family show, but I have to choose Pizza and Beer as walking out of this match with the RPW Tag Team Championships where they rightfully belong. Danny, what say you in 25 words or less?
Pizza and beer. 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 That's all I got. That's all I got, man. Pizza and beer.
That's 25.
That's all he needed. Pizza and beer. Gabagool, what does you and your bald-headed wisdom have to say about this?
Oh, I'm like the Buddha.
Whoa, I can't see here. It might be nighttime, but the shine on that.
Gentlemen, this is going to
Put
be
away
our second.
The turtle wax.
Turtle. Oh, hey, when you get Turtle too happy, you make some turtle wax. All right, listen. This is our second unanimous decision of the night. We're going to see Pizza and Beer. That's our pick. That's what it should be. Now, this next match, things are heating up at the commentary table. I've had the great privilege of sitting next to the legend Steve Aaron. We all know that Steve likes to bark up the wrong tree and likes to find himself in very dangerous situations. So we're going to see Steve Aaron in this legendary photo. Can you see his face?
Oh, yeah.
I
can see all of him.
That looks pretty terrifying to me, if you ask me.
Yes. That is Steve, main event Steve as the Punisher. Will be taking on Shaq Jordan. I don't even know if he's notorious anymore. Does anyone know?
No, I don't think so, man. I
He's
think
not
he lost
notorious
that title
anymore?
a long time ago.
Shaq Jordan, he might not be notorious, but he is him.
He is him.
He is that guy. He is that guy.
But there is a caveat to this match, gentlemen. The special guest referee, Aaron Stone, and I believe his head got cut off, but...
Look at those claws. Look at those claws he came out with.
Aaron Stone, do not be pissed off at me. Be pissed off at the creators of Zoom. I did not cut your head off, but I do dig the Wolverine claws. Now I'm going to switch back to maybe a picture that we can all enjoy. How about, I'll just do Steve. How's that sound?
There we go.
All right. Double J, tell us about this match.
So this all started back over in Cupid's Carnage, where Shaq ended the career at RPW for Gunner Brave. And then following that victory at Shamrock Showdown, he sat down with Steve to have a dialogue about it. Shaq was not happy with the lines of questions that Steve was asking. He was taking them as just digs against Shaq, who arguably had put up a very hard-fought victory over Gunner and wanted the recognition for that. So Shaq proceeded to beat Steve down with a chair. A few seasons ago, we fought as LIM so hard to let Steve sit, and the chair retaliated against that. Aaron Stone then came out and saved Steve, and then Steve would claim that Shaq made this very personal, which we then learned during spring break with the Zero Gravity Championship match, with Aaron Stone and Shaq going on one for that. Steve has attempted to save Aaron from Shaq, who was trying to bring another chair into this match, and then Stone would end up picking up the win, and then Steve getting more involved, whereby getting into the ring, and then because Shaq was attacking Aaron Stone after the match. Shaq then challenged Steve to a match at Kicks on 66, where then Nuke had come out and made the match official, where then Steve actually chokeslammed all 300 pounds of Shaq Jordan. He lifted him high in the air.
Big boy. Big boy.
Big boy with a big body slam. Steve at Spring Break never backs down from a fight, and we've seen that over the years here at RPW. They're about to go to a war in this match, but to make sure things are contained to a degree, there's no normal ref going to be assigned to this match. Aaron Stone is going to serve as the special guest referee, because we all have seen how Shaq plays during these matches as of late, so knowing that Aaron Stone is there to potentially keep an eye on Shaq, as well as Steve, because we all know Steve can be a fiery SOB sometimes. So Shaq and Steve are going to be put on watch because Aaron Stone is coming in there to make sure this is as fair as a match as we possibly can get. Now, with that being said, it's really hard to determine who a winner is going to be out of this one, but if I had to personally pick, there's a clear choice. It's going to be Shaq Jordan. He ended the career at RPW of the King of the North in Gunner Brave. He's going to carry that momentum and take on, like, this ain't no Joey Roth, let's be honest. Steve is taking on a certified killer, a main eventer, the notorious him, Shaq Jordan. And that is who my pick, and I just pray to God that Steve is able to walk on his own 2 feet out of that ring once Shaq is done with him.
Jay, you need to calm down right now, Double J, because you remind me of JBL with the neck brace. Okay? You're out of line right now, pal.
Out of line?
I'm
out of line?
No, but how can you not root for Steve? Main event Steve.
Because when you look at Shaq Jordan compared to Steve, how could you choose anybody else other than Shaq?
I don't know.
He's a man on a mission from God.
Okay, fine. I'll give Shaq props. He ended the career of the man who started the name of the lovely Intoxicated Men. I'll give you that. But before I give my pick,
that photo is what we call aura.
Before I give my pick, can I go on a really quick 20-second tangent?
All right, I'm gonna time you.
Okay. 2 years ago when we saw Steve and Shelly in that main event, do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And they faced off against the Symbols, Joey Roth and Roxy Hart. And
that's your 20 seconds. We're moving on.
But there's a point I'm getting to here, and it's worth it. So just bear with me, please. And I'm almost to the end. And do you remember we saw Marche, Shogun, and Nuke? They all came out of different entrances. To me, guys, I lost touch with wrestling at one point, but at that moment, I felt like I've been watching wrestling for probably 20 years now. I felt like a kid again, and it was because of Main Event Steve and Shelly. I will forever be grateful for everything you've taught me on that commentary table, Steve, and you have my full support. Danny boy, what's your pick?
In my honest opinion, I don't think Steve cares if he wins or loses. At this point, it's about beating the crap out of Shaq. Honestly, I mean, I want to say Steve.
Then say it. Don't be afraid to say it.
I do, but
don't be afraid of Double J. He's just a man with a pot of gold.
No, I'm not afraid of Double J. No,
he's just a man with a pot of gold and a great hairline and a white T-shirt. And put that pot of gold away. I don't want to see it ever again. You know, you and I have a lot of respect for one another. I know you would never do that to me. Now, Danny, can you lock in your pick for the parlay?
Like I said, I don't think Steve cares if he wins or loses. He wants that Shaq. And as long as he hurts him, I mean, I thought so. Yeah, I want Steve. I do want Steve to win
Then
this.
lock it in. Lock in your
I'm
pick,
gonna lock
brother.
it in. I'm gonna freaking lock it in. I have confidence that he's gonna just get there. He's just gonna get there.
Now that you're done locking in your pick, I want you to tell me about this next match because it's highly anticipated. The return of Kid Lat, and Kid Lat will be taking on in his first title. Well, actually, is this his first? Yes, this is his first title. No, it's his second title opportunity because he was in a triple threat earlier in the season for the Zero Gravity. We're going to see Kid Lat versus Jesus DeSafio for the Intercounty Championship, and Ref Danny is going to tell us all about it.
I'm all for justice, baby. That's what I'm about. I'm all for justice, and Kid Lat will bring that to the table. It's all he needs. But also, he's got a lot of fans to back him up to encourage him to fight the good fight. DeStafio can bring in all the undeniables he wants, but again, Lat Kid's got backup too as well. So it's like, bring your horseman. He's just gonna bring more, you know. But I'm all for Lat Kid on this one. I've seen him in the ring. He's a high flyer. He will do what it takes to get over his opponents and win. And he'll do it with justice.
There's a long storied feud between these guys.
Yes, big time. I mean, it's ugly. It is. I've to see these videos of them just brutally beating these guys. It's like it's about time.
The Undeniable did have a video that played at Shamrock Showdown where they were beating down Kid Lat. We also saw Kid Lat come to the aid, to try and save Joseph Von Jaeger back at Resolution.
And he woke me up. He tried to wake me up twice.
Exactly.
You know, he literally was there. You know,
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I do want to clear this up. I genuinely think that Joseph Von Jaeger had a classic mix-up. He couldn't see where he was going.
I don't blame him. Look.
Thank you.
There's some times, you know, where
when you got Jaeger bombed, brother, it's a common mistake. Double J has done it like 6 times to me. He's picked me up on his shoulders and slammed me. I mean, it just happens.
I will say, Danny, you need to do bulk up a little bit because JVJ made it look a little too easy to lift you up and throw you down like that.
You're right.
I know you're doing your training. We're just ain't cutting season. This is
the gym.
We gotta get. They like to have a slim boy summer. We need a thick daddy summer. All right, we need you to be that. Put that away.
I've been hitting the gym.
Put those extra sides of flab away. There, Gabagool.
Hold on. Here's my Rizzler. Hey,
do you want to see my
glasses? Do you want to see my Rizzler impersonation?
I don't want to see. That looks more like The Rock. That has.
He looks like The Rock.
If you smell, I'm not going to show up to WrestleMania 41. That's different.
We got Kid Lat and Jesus DeSafio. I'm going to tell about my pick. I think Kid Lat has a lot of momentum. He has a lot of respect and love and admiration from the RPW universe, but you can't discredit Jesus DeSafio. He's had one hell of a season. He's got the Undeniable. He's got the Caribbean Cartel. He's got that extra it factor when it comes to this. And Kid Lat also is coming off of an injury. We don't know if he's going to be a fully 100%.
Dude,
he broke his arm, right? Am I misremembering? His flying arm, it was broken. His flying arm was broken.
He's also had a long period of time to recover and train.
That's true. So
thank you. And when a bone breaks, I went to bone school for a little bit. I was taught under the tutelage of Christian Bone. And I heard that when a bone breaks and it regrows, it comes back 2 times as strong. So my pick is Kid Lat. And by the way, Kid Lat, good on you. Last month, you were eating cereal out of Jesus DeSafio's hat. I love the distraction.
That was funny.
Danny boy, you picked Kid Lat. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks.
I'm going with Jesus DeSafio.
I understand your logic, Double J. I respect it. I understand.
I beg to differ, but I want to change the subject and talk about another match. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk to you now about this match. 2 former friends, former Kings of 6 members, turn foes. This is a rubber match. The score is tied 1-1. Now, between these 2 men, it comes down to this match. It's a blindfold match. Now, we previously saw Devin August beat Skylar Reed. And Skylar Reed was faced with this decision. Should he use the chair on Devin August And I continue to believe, yes, he should have, but maybe Skylar Reed is a better man than I am, right? Maybe he is a more honorable man than I am.
I still feel bad for stopping Skylar Reed.
Well, I will take it back 1 month ago at the Shamrock Showdown. Sorry, not at Shamrock Showdown. I'm a poor historian. At Spring Break, when they had the submission match, we saw Skylar Reed shine in that match. He shows his ring awareness. The kendo stick was brought to the ring by Devin August, and Skylar Reed waited for Devin August to beat him with the kendo stick, but ultimately he used it in the finisher to pick up the win. And now the score is tied 1-1. This match that we're going to see at Kicks on 66 is none other than a blindfold match. And to my recollection, this match has not gone down at Kicks on 66. It'll be interesting to see if, despite having that blindfold over their eyes, if these two men are able to scope each other out in the ring. Because you got to remember, there's a lot of familiarity between these two men. They were tag team partners for a very long time. Then they were undeniable members. So, gentlemen, what are your picks? I'll start with you, Danny. Who do you think is going to pick up the win and end? Maybe not end, but who will settle the score for time being?
Sorry, I just still feel bad for stopping Skylar. My apologies to the wrestling universe and the fans on that one. My pick is Skylar Reed. Honestly, why? I'm just this fight is not. Then once they get the hands on each other, because they're not gonna be able to see nothing. They're not gonna be able to see nothing. But once they get the hands on, I'm pretty sure Devin's gonna get the upper hand. He's got so much skill over Devin. You just see it. He's got too much skill. He's really good tactical. He's really good tactically.
I call it ring awareness. Am I right to be calling it that?
He's like the Kenshi of wrestling. If you blindfold this man, all the senses are gonna pick up. He's gonna start swinging on Devin. He's gonna start picking him up. Like he's gonna know where he's at. At least I hope. But he's gonna know where he's at that time. Like that's how I see Skylar Reed. He's like that. He's gonna be that Kenshi in that ring for Mortal Kombat.
Danny, I'm gonna echo your pick. I'm gonna lock in Skylar Reed. Double J, what do you say about this match?
Devin and Skylar might not be able to see what's coming in this match, but the RPW fans are going to be able to see that this is a great match and be able to use that as a resource. They're going to have to potentially rely on the fans to tell them where they are at in the ring. And everyone hates comic accurate Wolverine in regards to his height, because Wolverine is short and Devin August is at least 2 feet shorter than Wolverine. 100%. So because of that hatred, everyone is going to be rallying behind the viral Canadian Skylar Reed, and Double J is also behind the gentleman and scholar that is Skylar Reed. He's got this match.
Gentlemen,
go for
we're unanimous again. See, isn't that nice, Double J, when we're all on the same page?
As the kids say, for when we nail a 3, we got the 3 vision.
The 3 rings. And speaking of the 3 rings, I want to talk
now
about
I'm a superhero.
Our next match. You are a superhero to me when you don't cash in that pot of gold against me, because that's what good friends don't do. They don't cash in the pot of gold. But the next match, ladies and gentlemen, this is bigger than anything we've seen in Rocket Pro Wrestling in a very long time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
These are 2 icons, and I don't mean to use the word icon, so I'm going to change that word. These are 2 legends of St. Joe's Park, 2 legends of Chicago independent wrestling and wrestling in general. I want to give a quick rundown on this match. It may be a bit lengthy. However, given the 2 members of this match, I think they deserve their flowers. So these figures have made their presence known at St. Joe's Park for many years. Both men have participated in some of the most memorable matches in RPW history, i.e., I'm referring to Joe Hendry versus Marche Rocket. Now, we need to talk about the Icon Grin, whose in-ring mind games have tormented his opponent throughout the years. He looks to end this feud against Marche Rocket in this body bag match. However, the ringmaster, we know he will be in Grin's corner. What kind of trickery will he bring to this match? I do need to bring up the fact that Grin beat Marche Rocket in a casket match a few years ago at Rocket Pro Wrestling. If you guys recall that match, it was in 2022. So Grin has the upper hand somewhat going into this match. He's already beaten Marche Rocket in a casket match. However, Marche Rocket is coming off of some huge wins, namely against none other than Brandon Day and Jake Omen. Okay, if you recall those two matches, Marche shined. He showed why he is all day. We also need to bring up the fact that Marche faced off against Joe Hendry. We've seen Joe Hendry everywhere between TNA and WWE and NXT and WrestleMania 41. Marche held his own in that ring. Despite losing, he gave it his all. And what we can expect in this body bag match is Marche's speed, his agility, his intensity, his killer M80. But we can also expect Grin and his mind games that he torments his opponents with, and the ringmaster's trickery. Now, the two men faced off at Spring Break. You guys recall that strap match? And surprisingly, it ended in a draw. We never really see that in a strap match. So this is the end-all, be-all to this story feud. We will see what happens. My pick, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than all-day Marche Rocket. Danny, what do you say about this match?
Would like to go back to the last match they had, the strap match. Saw the whole thing, man. It was a draw. It was a bloody draw. Saw the whole thing. These guys are wild. Grin, no. Seeing what he was doing in that ring to Marche with those mind tricks and just it's kind of scary a little bit. You know, you don't know what Grin's gonna be up to. He's unpredictable. Honestly, he is. And with Ringmaster on his side, there could be tricks left and right that we may not see just because where they come from. So sinister they are, so creepy. But I'm not opposing that Grin would lose. But I mean, Marche, all day, baby. I'm sorry to say, this guy, he's at that level. Like you said, he may have been defeated by Joe Hendry, but to see that aggression and passion in that ring, he's got what it takes to defeat Grin once and for all and end this feud. I don't think the mind tricks are going to work this time on him. He's getting sick and tired of this. You saw how heated they were, and I had to be the one in the middle for that one, and that was scary. It was like almost a nuclear bomb going off.
You're a brave man.
No.
Definitely a brave man. So you're locking in your pick for Marche.
I'm gonna lock in Marche Rocket on this one.
I knew 100%. You're a wise man. Double J, what are you saying about this match?
I think everything you have said about Marche is correct. Except we're forgetting very important things that I wish I didn't have to say, but needs to be said. Marche had a championship opportunity with Steve Michaels, ended in a DQ. He had the strap match with Grin, ended in a no contest. Had arguably the biggest match of maybe his career against Joe Hendry, one of the biggest names in professional wrestling right now, and he lost. This season, Marche in the big matches hasn't come out on top. And with Grin, with the psychological advantage, we also have Ringmaster. We also don't know if Machine is going to be a factor in this match as well. This is a big match, and based on what I've seen this season, are we going to see, big match Marche, or are we going to see the Marche who hasn't been able to get back the RPW championship in the past few years? So with that factor alone, he's going into Grin's mind in this match. Grin is very locked in on punishing Marche.
Yeah.
And I think that focus and this match plays into the advantage of Grin. And I have to go with the advantage to Grin here.
I don't know what you ate before this episode, or if you didn't eat and you're hangry right now, but
I had some Taco Bell.
Yeah, I don't know what's getting
I
into
got
you.
grapes if you want some.
I don't know what's getting into you lately with these picks, these whack picks. I mean, I just hit my 8-leg parlay for the last show, and you could come with me on that journey. You're picking all the wrong guys. You're all right. I appreciate your analysis nonetheless.
I'm picking the wrong guys. Maybe you're not looking with eyes wide open and picking the correct answers.
My eyes are open under these Seth Rollins 2024 sunglasses that I bought from fanatics.com. But
all right, you
let's-
Mr. Fake Visionary, but too bad the vision doesn't have you as a hairy person because you're bald. Moving on. We got
Okay,
match
fine.
number 9.
Let's talk about match number 9. Ladies
Bald.
and gentlemen, this is
Bald.
yes, well, one of the guys is bald. The Clash of the Titans. We will see. As we called them last month, Double J, I got to give you props on this. We called it the Undeniable Slayer, as we're dubbing him, BOW. He's on a warpath against the Undeniable. He's getting a title opportunity against Steve Michaels. And folks, you heard it here first on this podcast. We called it. We knew this match was coming. We knew BOW was headed for stardom. And Danny, why don't you tell me a little bit about BOW in this match?
Well, BOW, compared to Michaels, I'm sorry. He is BOW, the Undeniable Slayer. He's been taking out every single member. It's nonstop with him. With Michaels, I don't think he comes up. He may be a titan of his own, but the way BOW operates, it's not just destruction. It's tactical destruction, I'd call it. He gets in there. He knows his presence is scary enough to put you in that fear, to put you in that mindset of, am I going to be able to do this? You're going to question your reality when you're in that ring with BOW. It's just that presence he gives off. And I think he's very well deserved that championship around his waist, if you ask me. I mean, come on. It's BOW. The Undeniable Slayer. That's all I got. That's all I got, man.
I would agree with you on a lot of that. Again, we called it. BOW is the Undeniable Slayer. He's defeated Maximus Orion. He's defeated Victor Wade. He's beat down on the Undeniable every chance he's had.
Boom, boom.
I do need to talk about the champion a little bit, and I'll interject, Danny, if you don't mind. So
yeah,
Steve Michaels.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
Steve Michaels has been the reigning, defending RPW champion for over a year now. We saw him face off against many of the greats in Rocket Pro Wrestling. I'll name 2 of them, for example, Rion Skills and Marche Rocket. And in every opportunity, he's been able to retain that illustrious and beautiful RPW championship. Now, I see you squinting, and I know what you're going to say. If what I say,
he's gotten help. You know he's gotten help.
Okay. So
that's
here's
the thing.
Here's the question that begs to be asked. Can Steve Michaels retain the RPW championship without the help of Damian Saint, without the help of the Undeniable? We see what Steve Michaels has done in the last few months. He comes down to the ring and he's escorted by the Undeniable. He shoos him away to the back, but Damian Saint always finds a way to end the match in no DQ, whether it's a slap to the face, a cheap shot. We've seen it.
Yeah, what was the one match he had where he literally was about to lose until somebody helped him win? It was like right there. He was very
I do believe you were the referee in that match.
Was I? I've been knocked around too many times. It's kind of hard to remember.
Well,
excuse me.
You got to take your Prevagen, okay? It'll help with the memory loss.
Sure.
Gentlemen, this is the Clash of the Titans. These are the 2 biggest superstars. Size-wise and momentum-wise and charisma-wise in all of Rocket Pro Wrestling. This would be the main event on any card. However, we do have one more match to talk about after this, but this is arguably the co-main event of the night.
May want to hold on to your seats because it's going to be a wild ride.
It truly is. 2 Titans. Who are your picks? Double J, I'll start with you.
Steve Michaels. Regardless regardless of, I mean, he's looked furious every time Damian Saint has interfered. Who's to say he's not going to tell Damian to go wait in the back where he belongs? We are looking so heavily at the undeniable factor in this match. You are overlooking the fact that Steve Michaels has been the most dominant RPW heavyweight champion that we have seen in recent years.
OVW
The man,
Hawaii.
yeah,
Oos Wrestling.
Steve
He
Michaels
defended the
is
title in Hawaii. I'll give him
he's
that.
defended it in places without Damian Saint against top tier talent.
He's right.
You can't
However,
discredit that fact.
wait.
BOW in his own right is probably maybe one of the top talent that he's ever faced currently. I can't speak to others because I don't know their body of work, but for what I know within RPW context and the Chicagoland scene, BOW might be. I mean, look at what happened. Like Max Holiday took him to his limit. Omar Shea took him to his limit. He wants a good quality match against top tier talent, and he is tired of the undeniable getting in the fat and interfering in that matches. So he's going to prove why he is simply undeniable Steve Michaels and one of, if not the most dominant RPW champion in our history.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stand on business here, Gabagool, and pick Steve Michaels.
I mean, you're not. I'm not going to argue completely against this one. You bring up a lot of valid points. He defended the title without Damian Saint in Hawaii. He's a traveling champion. He is a fighting champion. Okay, but in Rocket Pro Wrestling, he needs help.
Sadly.
Does he though?
But what if Double J's right? What if we see Michaels comes out by himself?
I'm going with B.O. Dub.
I'm still gonna go with BOW myself, but I have to give it for Michaels. There's much respect for his.
I understand what you're saying, and I tried to back the champ up a couple months ago when I was on commentary. I do believe it was at the Shamrock Showdown, and Steve Arendt was talking a lot of shit about Steve Michaels. He can't win without the undeniable at his side, and I agreed for the most part, but as I was getting notes ready for this show and I reflect on everything, there has been undeniable interference throughout. He's a menacing force. If he didn't want them or he didn't want that leech Damian Saint by his side, he'd pick him off and throw him to the curb. True. Yes or no?
Yeah. Honestly, he should do it already. Like, if this is the case, Michaels needs to prove that night in that ring at Kicks Off 66 that he could do it alone and without any help. But my lock in is BOW still.
Okay. I'm taking BOW as well. Double J has locked in Steve Michaels. Double J, I'll tell you this. If Steve Michaels wins, I will buy you a beer. If BOW wins, you buy me a beer. Is that a deal? We got to buy Danny one too, so it's 2 beers.
No, I just said I'm a witness.
Oh, fine, you're a witness.
I'm a witness to this.
You're going to take that wager?
I'll take that wager.
Okay, thank you. I'm a gambling man. Ladies and gentlemen, there's all but one match to talk about.
There is a hotline for that if you need any help, by the way.
There is. I used to work in a casino. I know all about the business. Now, let me tell you, there is but one match to talk about. The main event of Kicks on 66. A story that has been building throughout this season. That is none other than the 3 Stages of Hell match between the Youth Gone Wild and the Freebirds. Now, I think we all, because we've been following this story, we all have context that we can provide. I sat down and interviewed both sides of the ring for this table. I've interviewed the Youth Gone Wild. I've interviewed the Freebirds. But I also want to get your guys' take. I want to get the take of a referee who has been involved in some of their matches. I want to get the take of a fan who has been sitting and watching these matches from their perspective. And we'll all come around. To me, my perspective on this match is that this is a blood feud. And from those interviews, I learned that this blood feud dates back almost 12 years. And the Youth Gone Wild have their reasons for why they think the Freebirds have done wrong by the legacy of the original Freebirds. And we've also seen the Freebirds tarnish the name of the Youth Gone Wild, right? They've called them out. They called out the Youth Gone Wild. The Freebirds have called out the Youth Gone Wild for stealing the memorabilia. The Freebirds vests. We've seen the Youth Gone Wild come down to the ring. So I'm interested to get your takes. on this. I know that there's been some really severe tension building between these two teams. Either one of you want to start? The floor is yours.
You're forgetting one big thing here, Gabagool. It's not just the vests. It's the WWE Hall of Fame rings as well at stake here. And if the Freebirds win, they get those back. But if the Youth Gone Wild win, the Freebirds have to retire. There's so much at stake here that more than just memorabilia. The Freebirds are fighting for legacy. Buddy Roberts Jr. father's legacy here, and they're also fighting for their careers. The Youth Gone Wild. I apologize. The Youth Gone Mild, the Queens of Dad Rock, are over here fighting to just disrupt, to cause chaos with a chip on their shoulder because they feel like the Freebirds got everything handed to them just because they're riding a father's name and legacy. I think they're just jealous that they haven't amounted to anything over these 12 years that they've had this alleged feud. They're fighting for relevancy. And I think that is it's going to cost them this match. And again, Youth Gone Wild. If you have issues with what I said, remember my name is Patrick Ackerman. You can message me privately and I will give you my address so we can have a polite, civil conversation about all of the takes being said here as I am acting as Patrick Ackerman, PX, known to others.
PX.
Yep, if you want my specific address, again, message me.
Yeah.
But if you can't reach me, you can reach out to Double J, as he will gladly give you the address so you can have this polite and civil conversation. As with this match, though, it's going to be unlike anything RPW fans have ever seen. It's a 3 stages of hell match. We have match 1 being a normal tag match that they have seen. We have the return of the fans bring the weapons match. If it has to go to a third match, it's going to be a ladder match where the spoils of war, the vests and the Hall of Fame rings, are going to be suspended above the ring. So if, match 1 goes to Youth Gone Wild and match 2 goes to the Freebirds, it goes to this match 3. But if both match 1 and match 2 go to either team, match is over. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot of tension. We also have Rat J Flywheel here. How is he going to play into the mix? We don't even know who's going to...
That's Rat Fink Flywheel.
Yeah.
Rat.
My apologies.
Yes, thank you.
And so we just have to wonder what is going to happen. And also, what kind of weapons are these fans going to bring?
Oh, I do have a prediction that I'm going to throw out there real quick. I'm predicting that the Scumbag Army fans, the fans of the Youth Gone Wild, are going to bring something like this to the ring. Booker T is going to show up with the picture of Scott Hall as a weapon.
We just better hope Stephanie Vacour is not there.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But I mean,
I at least hope to see a sledgehammer. Why not?
I don't know. The last time there was this match, it was with the NoCo Civil War. I went out to go and get weapons, and somehow I ended up with a case of beer. So hopefully the fans have better chances than I, because every time I've tried to go shopping at my local Home Depot or my Lowe's, I end up with a case of beer, and I don't know how that happens.
How do you get beer from? I don't want to know,
Danny. You need to understand. The LIM will always find the beer.
Find beer. We could be in the middle of a desert and we'll find beer, because
instead of an oasis of water, we'll find an oasis of tequila.
With that.
Danny, who are you picking for this match?
All right. This is not just a match. This is not just your typical feud. This is hell. This is a nightmare between the two.
3 stages of hell.
3 stages of hell, literally, yeah. They're literally, the Freebirds are literally fighting for their lives practically at this point when it comes to the Youth Gone Wild. I have seen nothing wrong with what they have done for the Youth Gone Wild to act this atrocious against them. There are plenty of bloodline families out there that are in the ring, and they have to work hard to get where they want to go. They're not just handed down anything. Yeah, training, sure, but they're literally doing all the work themselves. I don't see their predecessors in there with them. You know what I'm saying? That's them themselves doing the work by themselves. Youth Gone Wild, Jealousy. They just want to stir up something. They're jealous that they, oh, you know, boo-hoo, crybabies. In my opinion, sorry, you know, don't attack me. Don't attack me, okay? I'm just seeing how it is. And in that ring, it's insane. Like you give them the freedom to destroy each other, it's going to happen. It will. With Youth Gone Wild and Flywheel on their side, oh yeah, something's bound to happen. You know, something's gonna happen. Flywheel's gonna be right there. He's gonna be right there for them. It's two
You bring
against.
up a good point because
It's gonna be
yes,
2 against 3, not 2
Yes.
against 2.
Yes.
This is it. But the Freebirds work very well together, and they have great communication in and out of that ring. So I believe that the Freebirds can come on top of this, but it's gonna be one hell of a fight for their lives in that ring.
I have to bring up something because we've said his name a few times. Rat J Flywheel. At spring break, we all remember when the contract signing was going on for this match, the Freebirds were not present at St. Joe's Park. You guys following me? They video chatted in on Nuke's phone. And where was Rat J Flywheel? He was unconscious, so to believe, or so to see, at the bar.
Oh yeah,
The Freebirds had him knocked out or incapacitated. I don't know how they had him sleeping, but we got to remember that maybe the odds have been even. Maybe Rat J Flywheel won't be there. Maybe he's had time to recover. Maybe not. Maybe the Freebirds still hold him captive. With that context, Danny, would you like to say anything else?
You know, just a funny. What odds would it be if the Freebirds just show up with them and then just drop them right on the ramp?
Double J, I think that's possible.
It is possible.
We've
After
seen
what they've been through, I don't blame them. I mean, I'm looking at this as a fan perspective, not as a ref. As a ref, I have to be unbiased in that, you know, in all this.
So
But,
yeah, give us your fan pick is the Freebirds.
yeah, but you know, as a ref, I'm always unbiased when it comes to the ref. You guys know this. I have to be.
We know, we
believe
believe you.
You know.
You got inducted into LIM during a match. How's that biased? Come on.
This is true. You're right.
Think about it.
I
Not,
mean,
not an important match.
in the
either.
ring,
It was a random match.
I have to be unbiased in that ring. But
It
outside,
was-
you know, hey, this is how I truly feel. And you know what? I'm for the Freebirds. I hope they kick ass. Just tear up the ring. I don't care. Tear up the ring. As long as they win, I don't care.
Double J, do you follow that prediction from Danny?
I do. The Freebirds are coming out on top.
Well, guys, let's end this preview on a unanimous decision of the Freebirds. How does that sound?
How many is that? How many is that for us right now? Is that
Well, you know, I
5?
stopped counting because Double J kept throwing me off with his alternate picks. He keeps picking the wrong guys.
Hey,
You know,
it's okay. It's okay to have a little different opinions. Come on, guys.
Well, I don't know
It's-
about that.
I mean, now that we've covered kicks on 66 here, Gabagool, we need to get to the tiny elephant in the room.
The tiny elephant, Baby
We-
LaGreca,
No, the smaller one, PX.
PX. Well, before we get to PX, apparently there's some kind of video message that
That's
needs to
what
be-
I was getting to. We need to.
Yeah,
you
go
need
ahead.
to watch this from Smiley.
Tony Gabagool. No. This is more personal. This is between Josh and Justin. You sat there and have pissed me off because you decided to disrespect my sister. Only because she decided to sit there and stick up for PX when you decided to suspend him. And now she's decided to boycott the show because of the vote and because of your disrespect. Which, because you disrespected her, you disrespected me. Now, that vote that I mentioned, you called it an even vote and then decided to take it upon yourself to call it to take it upon yourself to be the tie-breaking vote. Guess what, pal? There was other members that weren't a part of the vote. And that's not right. If PX is supposed to be unsuspended, it should be because if every member in the LIM was there to vote to unsuspend him. I don't care if you didn't want him to be unsuspended. I don't care what you were thinking. But guess what? We are going to redo said vote. We're going to make sure all available members of the LIM are there to make sure that PX, whether or not he's unsuspended or not, gets a fair chance at being voted back. Now, as far as my sister goes, I'll try to talk to her, talk some sense into her, maybe to make sure she's there. But buddy, we have business to settle. And I promise you, if it's not fresh, baked knuckle sandwiches are in the works, I'll see you there.
See, Gabagool, the thing is, you've gotten on a track record here with PX being taken out. It goes all the way back to November. Remember when the situation happened with Shelly going down when the Youth Gone Wild and Freebirds had their brawl? I was supposed to have my title match then, but because of what happened to Shelly, we suspended that because there was bigger things going on, and you promised me that I would get a rematch. That is yet to happen. And with the stuff with PX, I know initially I voted no to reinstating because I was being selfish and wanting my rematch before he got a match at the belt. But if we're truly going to be better than the top fan from last year, we need to be honorable LIM members. I think we need to reinstate PX. He can get his title opportunity that he challenged you to in his, albeit very long, promo. But to get our LIM back on the right track, we need to right the wrongs of the past. So we need to reinstate PX so you two can settle the score once and for all, and then get back on track with having a good time at the wrestling shows, going after the belt in a respectable manner, and giving other members opportunities at this championship. So LIM is not what I signed up for anymore at this point. I mean, hell, Danny, PX's brother Danny, not Ref Danny, apologies Danny, it left because of what was going on with the with LIM. We haven't heard from him.
And we could have had two Dannys in this group.
We could have had double Ds. I mean, it writes itself. And in order for us to get to that lofty goal, we need to reinstate PX. We need to bury the hatchet, and this score needs to be settled. And in order for that to happen, PX needs to come and back in and face you for that title. This is plain and simple.
That sounds fair, honestly. I can't disagree with Double J here, Tony. I'm sorry, Gabagool, but
all this fucking bullshit you guys are talking is making poor baby LaGreca cry. You hear that? Yeah, all that bullshit you just talked. That's your nephew, Double J, and you're making him cry.
I'm sorry, baby LaGreca, but it needed to be said.
No. It needed to be said is. And another thing I want to say before I get off on a tangent here. Enough calling me Justin. I am not Justin. Quit calling me by my government name. I know you didn't, but a couple other dipshits did. And I want to clear one thing up. From now on, no one is to refer to me as Justin or Tony Gabagool or Gabagool Ross. I was never Gabagool Ross. That's my cousin. I am Commendatory Tony Gabagool. And that's how you all refer to me. I'm the leader of the LIM. Baby LaGreca, it's going to be okay.
that seems kind of egotistical for you.
Ref Danny, I need you to calm down, know your role, and shut your mouth, all right? Listen, I'm done with this shit of PX corrupting all of your minds. And he wants to go on record for 8 minutes waste 8 minutes of our life on the last vlog. I got a couple things I want to say. To me, it's no surprise that a narcissistic, four-eyed, 4'11 fuckhead like PX will go into business for himself for 8 minutes. So Double J, start a stopwatch and see if I can do this in less than 8 minutes. Can you do that for me, buddy?
All right.
While you're over there playing Peace Treaty, can you go ahead and do that?
And go.
So PX, I watched your fucking boring ass video in the beginning of our vlog. You wasted 8 minutes of our life. So let me be real quick with this. All right. You're right, PX. I am just a guy with a title. That's right. That's right. Oh, you're wrong. I'm more than just a guy with a title. That's right. I'm an asshole. You all know this about me. I'm a fucking asshole. I talk shit about Laura. That's right. Get your ass back to the kitchen where you fucking belong. Hey, Smiley McGee, go sit on a cob of corn because we all know that's what you love doing out in Indiana land. Double J, I thought you were better than that. Danny, you're turning on me too. But PX, you think I'm afraid of you? I'm not afraid of PX. I'm afraid of one person, and that's the top fan. You see, the top fan in 2 very short months tried to turn my beer drinking club into his political science passion project. And I will not stand for that. Double J, you hear what I'm saying? You feel me?
I
You want to
feel
change
you.
your sentiment? Let me
I
get
do
back
not.
on track. I only have 8 minutes to talk. So PX, while you were dancing around the ring in the vlog, acting like you were some kind of goddamn wrestling hero, you're the furthest thing from it. You're grasping for straws, buddy. And those straws sit at the top shelf that is relevancy. And you can't fucking touch it. You need a step stool to get to my level, brother. Now, when we talk about you being reinstated, you keep bringing this up again and again. You want to be reinstated. You want to be reinstated. How can I reinstate you when I can't even believe that you're not the top fan anymore? Right? Because last summer, if you go back and watch the beginning of the Lovely Intoxicated movie, Simp declared that the man who won the blood alcohol content match would be, without question, and I quote, without debate, the best of us all. And that's what I did. I beat every single one of you. Danny, you weren't there yet. You'll get your chance down the road. But I beat all of you. At PX, you won't even acknowledge that. You won't even acknowledge. So how can I believe that you're not the top fan anymore? Why would I reinstate the top fan into the Lovely Intoxicated men? I have protected them all from you and your bullshit and your curse. The curse lies with you, my friend. You are the curse. The thing is, PX, you dance around the subject. For once in your fucking life, just be real with everybody. Tell us why you really want to be reinstated. Does anybody know why he really wants to be reinstated? Double J, you want to take a crack at it?
I don't know.
It's sitting right in front of you, and I don't know if it got cut off. I don't know if that got cut off. Again,
275?
yes, 275. The reason why PX so desperately wants to be reinstated in the LIM is because of one date and 3 numbers. June 3rd, 2025, Tony Gabagool will have held this beautiful title for 275 days, becoming the longest reigning LIM champion. And at that point in time, PX, you're irrelevant as fuck. Enjoy your suspension and fuck off while you're at it. And if anybody for 1 second wants to edit anything I said on this podcast, you want to take any iota of what I just said out, you can go fuck yourself. And while you're at it, I will take this belt with me. I will leave the LIM, and none of you will ever see it again. Is that fair enough? You can stop the timer now. Where are we at?
3 minutes, 48 seconds, and a very nice 69 milliseconds.
That's right, PX. Nice. You can't stand on my level. I didn't have to go do a bunch of phony bullshit dancing around in the ring like a ballerina. Don't cut my shit out of this podcast if you ever want to see this title again. The answer remains you're suspended. And before I would even consider bringing you back, before I would even consider reinstating you, I'd have to hear the heavenly voices of the lovely intoxicated folk chanting your name. But we all know that's never going to happen. Danny, I see you scratching your mustache. You better acknowledge commendatory Tony Gabagool. Ladies and gentlemen, time to close the tab on this episode. Hope to see you at Kicks on 66, and don't ever fuck with the leader of the LIM.